So real quick, quick description, what is the use case or like the purpose of the reverse follow through?
Well, either you're late
Okay,
or you want more spin.
great. That's as simple as you possibly could have made it, yeah. Yes, for like defensive / emergency situations, it's super useful. It sometimes can be used in kind of auxiliary situations too, like maybe a really low short ball that you're trying to kind of approach on. So those are kind of like the pros, like those are like the benefits. What are we sacrificing, or like what are the cons?
There's no pace going through the ball. So
Yep.
There's no forward momentum, I guess.
Relatively speaking, yeah. Yeah, so if we're going to optimize for vertical, then it means we're sacrificing the lateral. So for some points scenarios, that's freaking perfect. Then we kind of want that extra time. Like we don't want the ball to penetrate through the court really fast because it's just going to be right back on top of us like that much. Right. So quick case study here. This is a shot that you hit with Matt yesterday. What type of shot do you think this is going to be, just based on your first step?
Defensive.
So your first move tells us immediately that we're going to have to move back for this shot. And you, really good. You mentioned like specifically like late contact. In this context, this makes a lot of sense because
late, right?
you're stressed, you got pushed way back, contact point isn't very far in front. So it's like all the boxers are getting checked here. Why? It makes a whole lot of sense to use the reverse finish. So this is a quick case study of like this checking all the correct boxes. Now, as you were warming up, honestly, this is like the first thing that kind of jumped out at me. That I was just like, wow, I kind of want to explore this a little bit more. There was lots of shots you hit yesterday where. What kind of shot is this?
That's neutral, I would say. It's like still behind the baseline, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. For sure, neutral. Personally, I think you have like the strength and the athleticism and the game style that you, if you wanted to, you could take this as offense too.
Yep.
Because you're actively transferring momentum forwards. You're in the middle of the court. You're in perfect balance. And if we move forwards a little bit, and we look at the contact point, like everything is getting checked like in a positive direction. So like in real life, if I was coaching you, you're playing a match against Matt, and you took this and hit it aggressively, like to a corner, and you missed it by a little bit, I'd be like, you know what? That's the right shot to take. So what follows do you think should match?
Oh, I should go through it.
Yeah. So I saw a lot of this yesterday, where all the offensive boxes were getting, or like neutral, like at worst, were getting checked. There's no defensive factors here at all. But you're, for whatever reason, and you basically made it sound like yesterday that it's just kind of something you're playing with or experimenting with.
I don't know if that specific one I was playing with. But
So that's what my concern is, that it kind of seeps in a little bit, and it like sneaks in
that's
there.
the dangerous part of it.
Yeah.
Right. And all of a sudden, like 6 months down the road, you're like everything. And now we sacrifice our ability to hit a more penetrating shot. So this is the reason why I'm bringing it up. It's not that it's a bad shot or even necessarily like the wrong thing to be working on. When I start seeing it seeping into a phase of play that doesn't match the shot selection, then I'm like, especially if Phil is an aggressive baseliner, I would hate to see you drift like in the direction of like everything being a reverse swing.
Okay.
So I think this is a recognition problem. It's not that it's a bad swing, it's that the swing doesn't fit. The situation does not at all call for a reverse finish, which means we're taking on pros that don't fit the scenario and leaving behind cons that we'd like to have in that situation. So that's why I'm drawing your attention to it. Is I don't want you to continue down that that path. All right, Phil. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna start off in the middle of the baseline. You know what? Just to make it easy, we're gonna start you off in the middle of no man's land. I know it's a little bit weird, but just to make it really so you're not like running back against the fence the whole time. So Matt, to start off, we are just going to isolate. So like this would be like an ideal way for you to practice the reverse finish. So Matt's going to feed high and deep. You're going to move back best you can, and we're going to practice the reverse finish within the context of a defensive footwork pattern. Good job. Last couple. There you go. Yep. Last one.
Ah, sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. Just so he gets it up above shoulder height.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we're just going to alternate defensive ball, neutral ball. Defensive ball, neutral ball. Good job. Last couple. Good. And so here's the defensive look, obviously getting pushed back. And now the neutral ball, that's basically being just fed to you, and you're coming through and across. And so this is the distinction we want to make between being in some trouble and, oh wow, I actually didn't even catch that. So on that one, you didn't use the reverse.
Sure, yeah. One of them I didn't.
Good. And so eventually that should be intuitive that, okay, like I feel confident physically,
Yeah.
I'm in a strong position.
So basically what you're telling me is I should only do it if I have to, basically. Like if the
Pretty
ball
much.
forces me.
Yes.
So basically,
Yes.
if I feel like I'm late to the ball,
Yep.
behind me, I have no choice just to reverse it.
Yep. Basically when you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
If you have the choice,
Go forward.
like unless you just want to play longer points, which it sounds like you don't,
No.
then go through it. Now Matt is going to mix it up, and you're going to because it's not predictable, your read is really critical. It's very, very critical. Yep. Definitely an emergency shot there. Yep, that was the right time to use it. Yeah, definitely across. Good job. Yep. Awesome, Phil. Awesome. So we're gonna open it up now. Live rally. I don't think you have to do a lot of this. Like,
Yeah.
frankly, I don't think you miss chose.
No.
Any of them. I think they were all pretty appropriate. And this is what we expected. That was probably just going to be a matter of just pointing it out to you and then giving you the information. And now it's just going to be a matter of training the right instinct. So let's go ahead and rally some. Okay. So let's take a look at that one you just chose to go.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the signs that it should have been. So here it is. Late contact is really kind of the primary thing.
It's late.
Yeah, so your body is not getting
Around.
to where we want it to be.
Exactly.
And so that finish makes a lot of sense. Yep. Nice, Phil. Way to come across on that. Yep. Good.
Oh, no.
Good try. So just to be really clear, because we've identified that your best self is aggressive baseliner, we don't want to use the reverse finish unless it's like called for. Unless it's
I want to be a passive baseline.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do not fall into the I've seen this happen with players before, where it's like they're like, oh, shiny object. They practice it. They're like, oh wow, this is fun. Like, oh, now I'm like Nadal. And before you know it, it's like all they can hit is the reverse, and that would suck for you.
Yeah.
So we're just basically trying to just avoid that scenario, and that's pretty much it. And just be really specific about when you should be using it.